Hello, how's it going? Can you hear me? I think I think the camera or the microphone should work fine, but I'm just not sure. Nice. All right, I guess just me and you, Sophie. How's it going? I do this thing where I like to go on walks. It's a very, very foreign concept, but I love the good old walk and talk. And today I'm at my parents', so I don't have many friends around my parents' place at this point, so just decided to go for a walk and talk to you guys. Just thought that would be fun. A little change of pace. Yeah, it's a pretty insane concept. Very novel. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's a good day out in Ottawa, Canada right now. It's minus, I think it's -1 or like 0 or something. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Not very windy, which is nice. Hello, Mr. Pizza Crust. How's it going? I'm still getting used to this format of just talking to myself outside. So you guys are just gonna have to bombard me with stuff you want me to talk about or topics, and I'm down to just riff. Hello, bro. Hello to you. What's cracking? Just going on a good old walk and talk. It's a tradition I used to do. I still do with a lot of my friends. It's always my favorite. It's always my favorite thing to do. It's like, it's usually on these walks when you're talking to somebody where you come up with like ideas, you know, and you just move your legs around for 2 hours or whatever, however long your walk is, and you just talk and think and just riff off each other. It's always really fun. And it's always better, I find, than like sitting down, because when you're sitting down, you're just kind of static. You're just not really, I mean, like, you know, you can concentrate pretty well on one thing, but I like being in this like state of flux, like having the blood pumping a little bit. It's like you're a snow globe and you shake yourself up a little bit. It's all fun. Skits walking, are we? No, I think we're just walking. No skits today. No skits today, thankfully. Just a good old, you know, normal, very normal walk. Nothing out of the ordinary, and I genuinely mean that it's nothing out of the ordinary, just a walk and talk. So, yeah. Five people watching this stream. That's crazy. 5 people just watching me walk and talk. Is water wet? Water, I don't know. Water is certainly not dry. I wouldn't say it's dry. But to say that it's wet, my gut tells me yes. Let's go with that. Water is wet. there's a lot of people up with not Christmas decorations, but these like fun lights. Oh, there's some like winter light decorations around here. Look at that. Say they have, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like icicles. It's fun. People are still in winter mode here. But I'm very eager. I'm very eager for it to actually finally become warm. Because, you know, it's still relatively cold. Like there's still a little bit of snow out. Most of the snow has melted. But it's still chilly. You still have to wear your winter coat while walking around, which is fine. But I really like sweater weather. I think sweater weather is the perfect middle ground. Winter never showed up for us. Unseasonably warm. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I myself prefer a warm climate as well. But here in Canada, you don't have many options. You either deal with a lot of rain, like Vancouver is your option. You have BC. Or you gotta deal with no rain, but kind of relatively harsh winters compared to what America gets typically. But you know, it's interesting. As I've grown older, I've learned to not hate winter as much. Kind of learn to embrace it over time. Like to go snowboarding, skating. I live in Ottawa, Canada, so we have the world's largest skating rink, actually, right in the heart of our downtown core, on the Rideau Canal. And like so, you keep busy by skating. Like the infrastructure is all here for the winter, so it's pretty nice. You get used to it. In the desert, we depend on winter as a reprieve from the 42-degree days. Yeah, sometimes I wish it was 42 degrees in the dead of winter when you can't even go outside without multiple layers on. Even then, you're like, oh. Even then, you feel your face getting really cold. But yeah, I mean, 42 degrees consistently is definitely pretty miserable. Especially for I looked up like Phoenix, Arizona. It's the hottest place in America apparently in the summer, and can get up to, I think it's like 118, 120 Fahrenheit or something like that. In Celsius, that's like 46, 47 degrees, and it's dry heat, which is way better than humid heat. Here we get humid heat in the summer, but yeah, I mean, 42 degrees dry heat, still no picnic. So, or for that matter, in Phoenix, it's like 47. That's definitely really hot. It's too much. My folks are from Phoenix. There are 2 week-long stretches of 46 degrees. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, I can't imagine. At least the pool is nice. You know, you got to hop in the pool just for a bit, assuming the pool isn't boiling. Oh, and then you got to cook your egg outside as well. You got to put your egg on a skillet, and then you just put it on the pavement. Oh no, you can even fry your egg directly on the pavement. You know, in Phoenix, Arizona, they should make like non-stick pans, but instead of pans, they should make it pavement, so you can save all that money on pans. It's like a non-stick pavement. I think that would be genius. But yeah, I'm in my parents' neighborhood, and it's fairly quiet. Most people here are pretty car dependent, and I've been walking here for so long. I used to walk here as a teenager, as a kid, and always be relatively ghost towny, very kind of quiet, except for the occasional bus or car that'll just pass by. It's pretty nice and peaceful. I was thinking of doing actual streams, you know, getting some stream element stuff like what is that that wall of text in the stream, getting an official stream setup going with all the overlays and everything. Started getting into it recently. I still have to like kind of figure out the perfect overlay and the perfect setup. Drag my feet a bit on that, but yeah, I've been trying to I thought it would be interesting to start streaming more, because I really like streaming. Streaming is fun. It's very in the moment. It's very different from just making a video. In video, you have to write a script, you have to film. It's like, it's really fun, but it's a whole other kind of, it's more meticulous kind of thing. But streaming, you can just kind of riff, just do whatever. Is this Canada? I don't know how to spell it. Yeah, it is Canada, Ontario. But that's all the information I'm going to give you guys, because I don't want to dox myself. Although realistically, it's probably fine. What's the worst that could happen? But yeah, Canada is a suburb of Ottawa. It's located southwest of Ottawa, basically. I used to do these walks with my friend. I used to have this friend who was kind of a mentor to me when I was a kid. When I was in 7th grade, he would show me all the cool tunes and all the cool TV shows that when he was in grade 11 or the 11th grade, he used to watch. And we used to walk and talk very late. We used to start hanging out at like 1:30 a.m. and we would just walk and talk until like 5 in the morning, even on school nights. And I'll get no sleep. It'll be so fun because it's just so quiet. Feels like the world is yours. While everyone else is asleep, you got to just roam around and, you know, kind of do whatever you want. It's really nice. Let's go through some snow. I know there's a few of you that probably have never seen snow. And yeah, we have snow here, even in late March. Probably even early April if we're lucky. We'll have some snow left. I was actually stoked to make a snowman or go tobogganing this winter, just for old time's sake, but I never got around to it. But now we could do it. We could do it right now. So maybe things aren't so bad. Check it out. We got some snow. Look at that. It's very dark. I don't know if you guys can even. I don't even know what the quality of the stream is going to be, but yeah, got some snow here. Some white stuff, that's all that matters. So I'm standing in this field. It's a pretty big field. And this actually was supposed to be like a public school, like for like a middle school basically. But the city councilors got bribed by this developer who wanted to build like I don't know, like 20 townhouses. And so the developer did that, but then they didn't fit the legal requirement anymore, spatial requirements for the school. So they didn't know what to do. So they just left this open field that's pretty big. But it's like kind of a bit bigger than it should be. It's kind of like a weird spot to be. I haven't seen snow since I was like 5. Damn. Yeah, something magical about snow. It's nice. It's nice to see it once in a while. Not as much as the typical Canadian sees it, that's for sure. But I would love to see snow for like a month or 2 every winter. Instead, we get to see snow for like 5 months. Yeah, here's some more snow. It's very dark, but yeah, I'm walking on snow right now. There's a little crunchy sound. You guys can hear that. Uh-oh. This is where all the dirt is, and I'm wearing shoes. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Yeah, just give me a sec. There's a lot of mud. Mauricio says, people bash North American suburbs a lot, and it's pretty well deserved, but if there's one thing I like is being able to walk around with your phone out at night. Yes, it's nice. Actually, I just passed by this couple right behind me, and there was another guy that was like a little ahead of me, but other than that, this entire stream there was no one so far that I haven't encountered anybody, which is nice. You know, it's nice to, I can't imagine, for example, living in New York City and you're trying to escape, and there's like nowhere to escape because it's just so crowded, which is, it's a bonus in itself, but it's always nice to have like a spot you can go to for peace. Anil Yadav says, we become what we think about. You become rich in your life. Flying $! Emoji, flying $! Emoji, and flying $! Emoji, and then $. I'm not going to read all that, but wow, that's it's very true. It's very true. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, let's go this way. There's no mud here, just a sidewalk. Can be less not as precarious for my shoes. Bro is manifesting wealth. Yes. And I wish all of you guys health, but most important, or my brain did this thing, I'll manifest you guys wealth, but most importantly, health. There we go. We got it. We got it. Health is the most important thing of all. I'm sick right now. It feels like I'm on my deathbed. Oh no. Do you have a fever or something? I'm sorry. Yeah, for me, I started doing this thing where I actually get enough sleep each night. It's been pretty revolutionary. I've been trying to get more than 7.5 hours of sleep a night, and it's gotta tell you, it's a game changer. Because before I would feel like very groggy throughout the night or throughout the day, but now I'm like, wow, I have energy. And if you're drinking coffee on top of that, wow, you're a speed racer. So it's super nice. I always wonder what this is, but these this house is like a grow up. Maybe it's I don't know if you guys can see that. But I'm always wondering if that's like if they're trying to grow weed or they're just growing plants. They've had this shed for a while. I believe even before weed was legal here in Canada. Pretty cool hobby though, just to grow some plants. That'd be nice, you know, having a long growing season. Live somewhere like Florida, somewhere warm, and you can just put some flowers down in the earth and you can just watch them grow the whole year. That'd be nice. All right, fuck it. Hat off. Here we go. I'm going to university to study landscape design. I want to make parks because we need third spaces and birds. Yes, we do need birds, but unfortunately birds are, I'm confused why you want more government surveillance objects. You know, birds aren't real, right? But yeah, I couldn't agree more about the third spaces. There's actually been a severe lack of third spaces, especially when you're an adult. When you're a kid, your third space is school. Or I guess that would be your second space. But in a lot of ways, it would double up as a third space. Because the function of a third space, in my mind, is for community. And if you don't have community in your in your at work or whatever, like, you know, you're living a bleak life. But at school, it's typically pretty fun for the most part. Typically doubles up as a third space pretty well. But at work, there's this thing at work where, because if you don't have a third space, you start befriending your coworkers, and that's cool and all. And like, you know, I think it's really nice to be able to enjoy your work. But it's also somewhat like, you know, if it was not your only option, it would be nice. But for a lot of people, it's their only option to. It's getting windy. To have that as their third space. So that's how work gets you, or gets a lot of people. But yeah, third spaces, really cool, really good stuff. I'm glad it's becoming more of a thing that people talk about nowadays. It's like insanely important. But the other thing is, it's kind of difficult to make time for a third space. You know, like if you're working and then you come home and then, you know, you want to gym, you want to eat, you want to spend time with your partner if you have one, you want to do all your chores. It's kind of hard to And if you have other things you want to do as well, it's not work, right? All the time, that thing that you want to do that's not work has to coalesce itself with the third space. But yeah, it's kind of like in capitalism, like, or like I guess in more capitalistic societies like America or Canada, whatever, where it's really car dependent. You kind of it's very point A to point B, whereas you have a lot of. I was thinking about like Europe. If you live in the city, and then you're going to the grocery store and you're just trying to get some bread, but on your way there's like a nice little coffee shop or a little spot that your friends or your community sits down and just hangs out at. So on the way to a grocery store, you can be like, oh yeah, look, check it out. There's check out all these people I know. And then you can stop and talk. Like, it's not even an intentional thing. You're not intentionally going out to seek a third space, but rather it's just kind of there. And I think when it's there like that, that's when it's in this most natural, when it presents itself in the most natural way. I think that's kind of the best variation of the third space. I think forcing a third space feels so awkward to me. This whole idea of like, you know, you go to a club or something, or you seek people with common interests. I think it's cool, but I also think should be more of a niche thing for people to do. But in like society, it's presented as like the default thing to do if you're an adult is to join a club and talk to people with similar interests. But all the time, I think it's beautiful to just have some kind of space where you just go to a lot, where you see the same people a lot, and then you, by osmosis, start to like learn about who they are, their names, that sort of thing. So that's why neighborhoods should have those spaces close by. In suburbs, you have to rely on driving law. It cannot be spontaneous. Yeah, exactly. And I think spontaneity is super important for human existence. Like the whole point of existence. I feel like if you're just doing a thing and you know exactly what you're doing your whole life, it kind of kills the joy of life, doesn't it? Just kind of know what you're doing day in, day out. But there's a little variation, little variance. It's always really nice. That's why there's sometimes I come by the studio, a YouTuber studio in Toronto, and it's always really nice because they form this collective that's, you know, they have their main cohort, but they also have a lot of people that are just, you know, like friends of people in within the cohort, or like or friends of friends, right? That just pop by and come by and mingle, and then you can kind of get to know a different person, and you have your kind of your main dish, which is repeated, but then you also have a lot of these other people that sometimes sprinkle their way in, and it's really nice to kind of have that variance. Keeps you connected. Lamau, sorry for my broken English. I had to correct one word there. It's fine. Don't worry. Thought I heard something rustling in the bushes there. We'd have skunks around here. When I was a kid, I used to walk around a bunch, and there'd be like a skunk that would be like always like 15 meters away from me, and it would just be like not even face me. It would just be like on the like looking at something else, but there'd be a skunk. It'd always be a skunk somewhere. It's weird, but never smelled like skunk. It never deployed its smell. All right, I'm gonna start heading back because it's getting too chilly. I'm pretty excited about the video that I'm gonna post on Thursday. It's gonna be a small video, short video, but it's gonna. And I haven't even shot it yet. I haven't even made it yet, but I'm planning on shooting with some friends on Saturday, and it's a script I've had written down for a few months, but was way too cold to film it because it's a skit that we want to film outside. And now it's getting, tolerable, like 0 degrees, so we can film without getting too cold. So pretty excited about that. That's my favorite part about filming. I like filming by myself, but for me, it's like creme de la creme when you like just the idea of going out and filming with your friends, and then you wrap up filming, and then you go to a restaurant and get some soup or whatever, right? Whatever the kids get these days. And yeah, I don't know, something about that, super nice. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be on the shorter side. It's gonna be like a minute and a half, but it's gonna be fun. And if you guys aren't aware, I'm posting a video every 2 weeks. So every Thursday, I have a video out. Doesn't matter how short or long it is, but I'm putting a video in, and hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys want me to experiment with some other video topic or some kind of other direction, I'm all ears. I'm just doing what makes me laugh personally. Yeah, I appreciate it, Sawdust Creator. It usually works out. I started doing this thing because I like having kind of a very subtle sense of humor, like very subtle. But I realize sometimes it's like way too subtle to the point where people don't understand. For not for everything, but for like more things than I realized. So now I'm actively writing my scripts with the other end of the spectrum to try to make it as overt as possible, but also make it funny. I think it's a useful exercise. I thoroughly enjoyed the gazillion-dollar housing price announcement. Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, that was really fun to make because I made that skit with friends as well, and they were really stoked about helping me as well. They're like, "Oh, I'm down to get involved." Yeah, like everyone's down to get involved in a project, especially if it's not like a huge project. Something they can help you out for a few hours. A lot of the time, I feel like most people would say yes most of the time. If you have something like that where you need someone's help, be like a few hours at a time, be like, yeah, listen, I have this thing I want to work on. It'll be fun, just why not do that? But yeah, the goal for me broadly for the channel is to make more videos of other people, because I think that is that's the most fun thing. I like making videos that are just, I write a script and I read it and I act it out by myself. But it's always more rewarding to do it with other people. Something to share with somebody else. I found that people are shockingly willing to participate once you started the ball rolling on a project. It's surprisingly easy to find collaborators. Yeah, no, for sure. Because there's not a lot of, especially like if it's an interesting project, there's not a lot of interesting projects going around. Like there's a shortage of people that are down to even there's a shortage of projects to even attach to in the first place. But of those projects, there's a shortage of even interesting projects and spontaneous projects and projects that make you laugh, right? So yeah, I mean, especially if it's short. I mean, I am trying to get the ball rolling on Antupia, which is a sequel to a short film I made that is I mean, it's relatively like not a lot of people care about, but I find it really funny. But the issue is it's a very long-term project. Based on what I've written in the script, it's probably gonna be like 30, 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. And I'm running an issue where I can't find any long-term actors that are down to act for, or down to commit themselves for this film. I got 4 actors, but I need 2 more in Ottawa, Ontario, and it's been a journey to find them. Because of that, we're not able to film, but still looking out for them. They're gonna happen in just a little longer. But for those short-term projects, it's definitely relatively easy to find somebody, especially since you don't have to worry about them like bailing on you or anything midway through the project if it's just like a one-day thing. Yeah, and going back to this whole project thing, I think there's a lot of people that are just working by themselves. They're kind of, they lock themselves in the room and, they draw all day or they make music all day and they're just by themselves, which is fun. It's fine. But I think a lot of the time they're down to, to do something with other people. But there's just a lack of, not narrative, but there's no strong anchor in their lives to be like, okay, you do this now, right? A lot of the time you need a person who's like a strong anchor with a strong vision to get people excited and to get on board on the project. So you got a lot of these people. So especially if you have a strong vision for what you want to do, and you don't have the means, but you have a strong vision, if you just let yourself be heard. Oh, there's a dog here. If you just let yourself be heard, I think you can get people on pretty easily. Oh, what a beautiful dog. Look at this dog. Look at that dog. Hello, dog. Damn. She's beautiful. Very fluffy. But she'd probably bite me if I try to touch her, so I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. What's harder, finding collaborators or finding an audience? In my experience, finding an audience, but it really depends on what comes more natural to you, right? I mean, there's a lot of factors, if you collaborate with people, if you have a good personality for collaboration, that'll be easier for you. A lot of the time, sometimes you can start off thinking oh, this is such a good subject, and you kind of have your personality authentically geared towards that subject. You can find some, you have a specific sense of humor about something, oh, people are going to enjoy it, but then only you enjoy it, and then you've kind of already settled on that idea and you don't know how to breach, you don't know how to what to do to reach an audience. That could also be difficult. Sometimes it's really easy to find audience if you just happen to just have this novel idea that happens to resonate with people. But a lot of the time, that doesn't happen, and it's fine. The dog's physiognomy says snow. Yeah. Well, see, in Canada, all dogs look like that. All dogs are very white and fluffy and snow-like. That's just the way dogs are here. I don't make the rules, just the way it is. I'm gonna do one last lap around here, and then I'm gonna call it. So another few minutes, another 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm probably gonna go back. Just because I'm getting chilly out here. It's a nice day, but sometimes it's a little chilly. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dumb would it be for someone to move to New Brunswick? I guess it depends from where. Eastern New Brunswick, like Moncton, I guess, what you're referring to. But from where? That's the bigger thing. I only see those little dogs, those little ones that bark like their lives dependent nowadays. Yeah, like those those Chihuahuas. Actually, it's really funny. I know this. Sometimes I know this lady a few blocks away who has 2 dogs, and she has one huge dog. It's like enormous. It's like when the dog is just like, you know, walking, the dog is not like shoulder height to the lady, but like, you know, like more than, it's like almost like 2/3 of her body, just like height, just walking. And then she also owns a dog that's like super tiny. So she has this massive dog and she has this tiny dog. Like she has this like contrast. It's really funny. From Southwest USA. Wow, interesting. What makes you want to go to New Brunswick? From Southwest USA. So I'm assuming California. See, for a lot of Canadians, California is all the rage. I mean, if you kind of, you know, get past that, you know, hating America thing that's going on in Canada because of the tariffs. Now people are rightfully enraged. But if you say, you know, we rewind the tapes 10 years ago when the Canada-US relations were positive. Yeah, a lot of Canadians would actually, like, a lot of Canadians would kill to go to California, even now, to be honest. Like, really warm. You don't have to worry about shoveling your snow. Cheaper property than Toronto, but better healthcare than here. Technically Arizona. Yeah, I mean, like, there's you can definitely get into like how each country is structured. But in my experience, there's the healthcare in Canada is kind of what's the expression? A mixed bag. And a lot of the time, not the right mixed bag, you know. I once had to wait in the ER for 10 hours because I had this chest pain and I couldn't really breathe. And by the time they saw me, it was gone. And they were like, "Oh, okay." A lot of these, and you get a lot of the time where people literally die, like waiting for the doctor. So while it is free for the most part, you do get situations like that. But it beats being in America when you don't have any healthcare coverage. Like, God forbid, you know, you get laid off from your job and your only option is to get that I don't know how much exactly it is, but I hear like the cheapest healthcare plan is like $500 a month, and even then you have like a $10,000 deductible and copay or something like that. So it beats having to do that, right? But at least in America, if you have money, you know, you can see a doctor really quickly. And in Canada, even if you do have money, you know, you can't really do that within the country. You have to go somewhere else. So what are you guys saying? My grandma was born and raised in Ottawa. I claim her Canadians for myself. That's nice. I've heard it's not actually much better than it's here, but it's less likely to make someone go medically bankrupt. Wait times are just as bad here. Really? That's insane. I didn't realize it would be that bad. I thought if you had money, you could see a doctor in like 3 seconds. The doctor would be like, "Oh, I want your money," and then you just get, and then you're cured. Thought it was like as simple as that. Yeah, the cost of medicine here is abysmal. I'm not nearly rich enough to afford insurance for myself. I don't have money. Yeah, that's the thing. I heard there was like programs. Maybe it's California specific. There's more of a degree of socialism in California than a lot of the other states, but they have a degree, or they have like a medical program for people that can't really afford medical care. You know, they have some sort of, you know, it's a far cry from what Canada has, but it's like something to help you if you can't afford it, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be healthy, you gotta have the money. You gotta have the money. Yeah, I was talking to this one guy in California. I visited LA, and I was talking to him like he was explaining to me all the specifics on healthcare, and I'm like, he gave me this spiel about how like expensive healthcare is in there, and how expensive the insurance is, and I'm like, "Oh, so do you have healthcare?" He's like, "Nope, no, I don't have any healthcare." So I'm like, what happens if something happens to you? He's like, "Oh, well, you know, I keep healthy." Like, I'm good, you know. But I'm like, yeah, it's true. You're healthy now, but you never know. You never know. And that's the thing in America. It's like you can play all your cards right. You know, you can be super healthy on paper, but then, you know, you get a random disease for no reason, and then all this time you spent trying to earn money, all the time, like you spend like 5 years like earning and putting your pennies away, and then just to have that all erased with a if you're not feeling too well by a doctor's visit. Be Young is the healthcare plan for a truly sad number of people. Retirement plans look more and more like an end of a shotgun these days. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's just bullshit. I mean, like, why would you be old? Being old is clearly bad for you. So much of a high chance to get sick when you're old. Why would you ever get old? It's bullshit. Yeah, healthcare. But yeah, Eastern New Brunswick. Yeah, Eastern New Brunswick. That's a place to be. I've driven into New Brunswick for half an hour before. I was traveling from Nova Scotia, from Halifax, to PEI, Prince Edward Island. And to get from Nova Scotia to PEI, you have to briefly go through New Brunswick to get on the bridge that goes on into the island. And yeah, I didn't. It wasn't really notable. I was just kind of on a road, but you know, I was in New Brunswick, and I can definitely assure you, it's a place. It's definitely a place that exists. That's a fact. I'm looking at a home near Bathurst. Where is that? Oh, I think I just disconnected there. I tried to Google something on my phone, but since I'm using my phone, I can't. Using my phone to stream, I can't go off stream. But Bathurst, I'm not sure where that is, but you know, somewhere in New Brunswick. That's interesting. So what about New Brunswick are you interested in? Like, why specifically New Brunswick as opposed to the other maritime areas like Halifax? or you know, you got St. John's in the great province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Cheap land and lots of pine trees. Yeah, you'll definitely get that in New Brunswick. I was actually looking at Moncton real estate at one point, which is I think is the biggest city in New Brunswick. It's either Fredericton or Moncton. I know there's St. John as well in New Brunswick. Not to be confused with St. John's in Newfoundland and Labrador. But I know that Moncton is one of the bigger places to live. And I remember looking at I think it's starting to like hail. It's interesting. But I remember like there's like a house in the center, and it was like $250,000 Canadian, which I don't know if you guys realize this, but in Canada, our average house price is like $700,000. So, you know, that was a pretty good price for a house for most Canadians. The pine trees are easy to find, but the cheap land isn't. Yeah, I mean, in Canada, you can always find cheap land. Like we have no shortage of land going up north. But the issue is like having infrastructure to that cheap land. You know, if you have a house on that cheap land, you gotta make sure that you have you know, this infrastructure for like sewage and plumbing and all that. And it's typically pretty expensive to just like build your own house in the middle of nowhere. Got to buy I don't know, it's just issues like buying a house in the middle of nowhere that's on a cheap plot of land. But yeah, I don't know. I have some friends that are down to do that as well. They're thinking about getting some cheap land and just running away from the world. And I think it would be nice to be out in the country for a while, just by yourself. But personally, for me, I like reintegrating in society like once in a while. I like to see the hustle and bustle from time to time. So it'd be nice to have like a lot of land, but not too far from the center of the action. I'm an experienced off-gridder. I wouldn't need much infrastructure. Oh, that's cool. Is that what you do? I'm gonna check out your channel if you have videos after this. I like your username, the Sawdust Creator. That's really cool. Being self-sufficient is awesome. Nice, that's cool. Yeah, that's I've always wanted to be handy, but I realize it's not something that you're necessarily born with, but something that you have to just like actually practice as much as anything else. And I don't really have much to practice with for that kind of thing, so I've never learned being too handy, but I think it's really fascinating being able to do that and being able to be self-reliant, kind of do things for yourself. Just buying up getting a plot of land and like maybe like a shack, and then transforming it by yourself. And then you can step back after it's all done and be like, wow, I made this. It's all in the year or two years work. So I think it's pretty cool. You'll recognize the dresser from my first video. Oh boy. I wonder what that means. Oh yeah, it's getting windy as well. Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut the stream in a minute or two. I'm getting close to my final destination. I literally am inside of a recycled wood shack that I built on a friend's property. The lack of amenities is made up for the cheapness of living in such a structure. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's like your life, you know? You wake up, you're like, yeah, I'm in the shack that I built for myself. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I should do it. Make the move to New Brunswick. Why not? Be a fun thing to do. I have to start all over again. I don't know if your shack is portable enough to drive all the way across the states into New Brunswick. And even if they let you through that shack through the border, but it'd be cool. Even if you start over, I'm sure you'll attain great success. Yeah, cool. All right, I am off. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. It was nice to talk, and I might do this again. This is really cool. All right, now I'm going to end the stream, but I'm a boomer, so I don't know how to end the stream. I'm pretty sure I click on this X. Oh yeah, that's it. All right, see you guys.